you something. Don't be scared. It's midnight, baby, just us two, no bright lights, nothing to prove. Your handshake, mine do too, but it feels right being close to you. Come closer, don't look away. We both know why you came to stay. Your heart beats loud, I hear it too. This moment's a little taboo. Don't rush it, move slow, feel the heat start to grow. If you want me, let it show. Tell me soft, tell me low. Taboo, taboo. Midnight with you.
Hello and welcome everyone to Charm Chats and Happily Ever After Sprints. All month long, I'm here hosting these Charm Chats with rotating lineup of Romantasy authors. We're about halfway through the month, so we're about halfway through our authors. And I'm so glad for everyone who's able to make it to today's conversation. I'm Shannon, writing under the pen name of SC Huston, and here on my YouTube channel, I run weekly writing sprints. I'm also the founder and conference chair of the AuthorTube Writing Conference, and that's now heading into its 5th year. We actually just had our live stream last Friday to talk about how that is going to look like. Now it's going down to a one-day conference from 3-day conference. So don't forget to catch that if you can. It is linked on my channel, but you can also find it on one of the other conference chairs channel, which is Devin Gambrell Clark. And then also, besides what I do here on YouTube, I am an epic fantasy or epic romantasy author who loves writing about broken characters, brutal choices, and love that refuses to let go in worlds of dangerous magic, sharp edges, and the occasional dragon. Today, I'm joined by, and I forgot to ask you, but I don't know if I would have, I probably still said it wrong. If you can say your name for me.
My name is Sudha Kuruganti.
And I think you said I could call you Sue on the form.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah. A lot of my friends call me Sue, so it's fine.
Okay. So we're so glad to have her here today. Sue is author of the Elementals of India and Legend Valley Academy series, clean fantasy romances that blend Indian mythology with contemporary magic. It's based in, I don't know if I'm going to say Hyderabad, or am I saying that wrong?
It's fine. Hyderabad is how we say it, but Hyderabad, yeah, that's also good.
In India. She's been writing stories since she was 13, believes every tale needs a little wonder and a lot of heart. And her work has appeared in anthologies and aired on All India Radio. And so at any point, we're going to move into talking about the author and her work. If anyone is here and would like to ask a question of the author, you can leave your question in the chat, leave it with a Q, make it easy to find later. And then I've also linked Sue's books. This particular book is linked at the top of the page in the chat. So if anyone wants to grab that, they can. And I did want to put that. That's the name, but we do have that. So then we're going to be talking about Bloom, Elementals of India. And the first question I like to ask all authors is what drew you to write in this genre?
So I actually always loved fantasies. Ever since I was a kid, I loved, the magic, the wonder, and all this. So I love fantasy, but I also loved romance for the emotional connection, the emotional journey.
Yeah.
So that's how I wanted to marry the two, and that's why I said this is where my sweet spot is fantasy romance. So that's how I got into writing it. Just because it's what I love, so I know what I love reading. So, and I also love writing it. So
yeah,
it was a natural decision.
I also started with writing fantasy. I've been writing fantasy since I was little. I wrote my first fantasy book when I was 9 years old. So I knew that I was always going to love it. And it's epic fantasy is what I write. And I've always read fantasy and I've read romance. And so when I saw those two blended together, I was like, oh, I want to write this. So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So, and I'm so glad that I got into fantasy romance and romantasy because I do enjoy writing it. So now in Bloom, which is Elements of India, book 1, the setting is in India and the integration of Indian mythology, it all felt very immersive, especially with elements like elemental magic, reincarnation. I love the reincarnation part. I love toying with reincarnation in my stories. So, and of course, the myth-inspired beings in the story. So what inspired you to build this world with those mythological roots? And how did you balance honoring tradition with creating a fresh fantasy narrative?
So Indian mythology is I think I would say it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it's the only one in the world, but it's unique in that sense that it's not like a mythology from the past, like Greek mythology, for example, or like some of the other Egyptian mythology, for example, like the pharaohs and then the Greek gods. I don't think there's anybody still believing in them or praying to them. But Indian mythology is something which, even though it's ancient, it's still very much alive in
Mhm.
the now of today. So it's something which runs through my life, and then it's in my culture. So it was the background of my life, and then that's when I thought that, why don't we write something about what if they are real, and then how would they fit in into the modern world, which is how I got the idea for Bloom, which is basically the story of a girl comes to India, to Hyderabad, to connect with her roots, and then she finds out that the myths that she grew up hearing, they are real, and then
Yeah.
she meets some of them and come to life. So, and then what happens next? It started out actually like my thought was, what if Twilight was set in India? And then I said, what would that look like? So
I love that.
so it's Twilight and then a Bollywood version of Twilight, I guess you could say.
And so am I saying it right? Yaksha? Is that the
Yeah, that Yakshazi.
yeah.
Perfect.
I
Perfect
love
pronunciation.
oh good, good. That's the only thing I'm probably gonna get right tonight. It's hard with my tone deafness that it's just like sometimes I'm not hearing certain letters and I think I'm saying it right, but I'm not most of the time. But yeah, so I really I love learning about new mythologies all the time and delving into them. And so yeah, I was so happy to I'm so happy you signed up to do this because I was like, oh, I get something new. So, yeah,
Well, I'm glad. I really want to. I'm happy to share my culture and the mythology that I grew up with, that I love, with the world.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's a great way to do it. All right, so
mhm.
the main female protagonist, Samantha Sam, is half Indian, half white protagonist who returns to India and reconnects with her heritage in unexpected ways. How did you approach writing her journey of identity, belonging, and cultural reconnection? And why was it important to include that way that if I can say this right, include that in this story?
So it's actually really kind of personal to me, because
Mm.
I was born outside of India.
Oh,
And then I stayed. I was in the Dubai. I was born and brought up in the UAE for about the first 13 years of my life, and so I would come over for visits. But there's always a sense of like being like a part of two different cultures or two different countries, and then how do I fit in, where do I belong, and for the people who live in India, for example, they feel Sam is too westernized. But for the
mhm,
people who are in some parts of the USA, maybe they might feel that oh, she's you can, it's like a visible indicator, right? So you can easily
mhm,
make out that, "Oh, you're not from here actually." Maybe
mhm,
it'll take, or even if maybe they don't make her feel that way, maybe she feels it within herself that, oh, I'm not
yeah,
actually a part of this culture. So where do I belong then? I'm like half here and half there.
yeah,
So how do I find out where is my home? Where do I fit in? What's my culture? What do I want to follow or not follow, or what's important to me? So these questions, I think, are not just I mean, it started out as being, like I said, something which was a personal connection or a dimension. But I think these are the questions which every young person or every person asks themselves at some point in time, because we all want to belong, and we all want to find the place where we can be who we're supposed to be, our
yeah,
best and our true selves. So I think that's like the part which connects with a lot of people. So
yeah,
and it felt very true to my life and to life in general, which is why I added in. So
yeah. So
Sam finding her roots and finding out
yeah, I love that. So it came natural for you to write about her that way.
exactly.
Yeah. So one of the most compelling aspects of Bloom is the layered connection between Sam and Vikram. Vikram?
Vikram, correct.
Okay.
Perfect. You're getting all these perfect. I don't know why you were worried.
It's across lifetimes with glimpses of their past story. What drew you to reincarnation as a core mechanic for a love story, and how did you decide how much of the past to reveal in the first book?
um, Reincarnation has always fascinated me. I mean, it's like one of those. I mean, I guess everybody knows it's really central to Hinduism, first of all. So it's like a core belief. I mean, it's like a base belief that all of us have. And by itself also, it's like a really fascinating thing to think about. Like, uh, I mean, in Hinduism, for example, when people get married, they say that, this bond is not going to be for this lifetime. It's going to be for the next seven lifetimes. So it's supposed to be that in every lifetime, we are bound to each other and we're going to find each other again, and,
Mm.
we're meant to be married, is what the one of the vows of the marriage says. But the idea itself was so fascinating to me. Like, for example, if there are people who made a mistake in their past life, do they deserve forgiveness? Do they get a chance, a second chance to make things right? And then if you fell in love with someone, with, I'm not saying you, but in
Yeah.
general, for example, if you fell in love with someone in your last life, does that mean you have to love them this life? Or if you don't find them and you fall in love with someone else, how does that work? What does that mean? What does reincarnation work like in this kind of a scenario, especially when magic is involved? That kind of thing is fascinating to me. So that was how I hit on this idea.
Um, I know I had like another question that's popped up, but now I lost it.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
no. You're fine. Sometimes it happens. So it might come back here in a little bit. So in the Indian in the Hinduism, is it always that if you if you love someone in this life, you're gonna possibly marry them in the next life? Could it ever be different relationships? Like your husband in this life could be your brother in the next life?
They say that, I mean, the belief is that the people whom you meet in this lifetime, if they are strongly bound to you in some way, then that they may, be a part of your life in the next life. But like you said, you don't know in which capacity they
Oh, okay.
would be. It can
Yeah.
be someone. I mean, they say that people whom you are really indebted to, for example, and it's a very popular thing which people say, that, if you've done something really great to me, like, parents, for example, they'll say that, oh, I'm going to be born to you as your child in my
Oh,
next
right,
life.
right, right.
So you're gonna so that our bond will continue, and then we get a much longer time together, and then you can shower me with all the love which you have in your heart. So we say that, or if they really are indebted, they'll say something like, oh, I'm going to be born to you as your child in the next life so that I can take care of you as
Yeah,
my parents in the next life. So that kind of thing is there, that, yeah, the bond will continue, and then, we are going to still have this connection that we have.
yeah.
So
I love that.
that is tie-in.
I mean, I did think it was kind of interesting how, Sam and Vikram, they were, reincarnated from previous lives and they were the opposite gender.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I wanted to do that purposely because a lot of the fiction that we have in Indian movies, for example, it's always like, obviously, they would have the same actress playing her older version and her reincarnated version. And I just wanted to, do a twist instead of having, you know, the Michael's character being reborn as a man again. I said, I mean, why not make it the other way around and then see, does that really change anything? Because they say that the soul is the soul. It doesn't have, I mean, that's what it says in Hinduism. That's what we believe, that the soul is completely different from like the outer shell that we have. So the
Yeah.
shell could be young or old or male or female or anything, but souls are what connect more than physical attraction or anything else which you could talk about. So if the soul is the same, does it really make a difference if the wrapper, like candy is, the candy is the important part, not the wrapper, right? So
Yeah.
that was the idea which I
I
pushed
love
into
that.
this.
Yeah. And I love, Sam's reaction is like, I'm not a goddess or whatever it was that she said. I'm not
Yeah.
yeah. And he was like, no, you probably were Michael.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. All right, so the romance between Sam and Vikram is slow burn and clean, focusing on emotional connection rather than steam or angst. How did you approach crafting that dynamic, especially in the context of paranormal stakes and an otherworldly threat?
So I wanted the romance to feel earned, especially
Mhm.
because this is a reincarnation story, right? I didn't want it to be
Like
I mean,
instant?
no knocking the insta love trope, but
Yeah,
for this story, I felt that would not be the correct way to go about it, because it has to be that, just because, like I said, just because they loved themselves, each other in the past life, do they just like kind of fall back into it without like thinking about then would that negate, like, for example, Sam's parents, they raised her with so much love and attention, and they wanted her to go and become a photographer or whatever her career choices were. Is she going to leave everything just because she fell in insta love with some
Mhm.
guy she met on a summer break in Hyderabad? I mean, I didn't want that kind of a, unearned thing where, like, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot everything. I don't care about everything. And then, I can leave my life behind. It's like the past 18 years of my life meant nothing. And then
Right.
now that I've met you, I didn't like that kind of a concept. It has to be something like which is a choice that
Yeah.
they are making to fall for each other, and then how do they navigate that choice in real life, in modern life, where
Yeah.
she wants to go to college and he wants to like set up his own business or do his MBA or whatever. So that was what I wanted. So the emotional slow burn part is like a given then, because you can't have like a fast moving relationship where it's like instantly switched on that yeah, we're together now. So that was where the slow burn part comes in. So it
Yeah.
has to, of course, be a slow burn.
Yeah. No, and I really appreciated that. I kind of had the feeling that Sam would go back and go to college and that they would continue the relationship. I didn't see him going to college though, because it's not what he wanted to do.
Yeah, yeah, because that was like me bowing to my Indianness, I guess you could say, because it's here. It's like unbelievable that Indian parents would let their kid not go to college. They would be like, no way, just like as a backup, you need to have a degree of some sort. Even if
Yeah.
you want to start up a business, it's fine, but get a degree first and then
Yeah.
do anything else. So that's why I had to bow to Vikram's parents and say,
That's
okay, fine, I'll make him get a
that's
degree. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's just I felt like she got what she wanted, which is she wanted to go to college, but he did not want to go, but he did go. And I was like, well, but
No, but
yeah,
I feel like one of the hallmarks of being an adult is you do learn to change your mind without feeling like you have lost, uh, like the argument or whatever you want to call it. So his
yeah,
mom kept telling him that, it's good to go to college. And
yeah.
then he sees Sam going, and then, I thought, okay, maybe he will
I
change
did
his
think that.
mind.
I thought in his head he's like, well, Sam is doing this. She's pursuing a degree. I need to do it too. That's what I thought he was probably
Yeah,
going through his head.
exactly. See, you got it. You got it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. So, all right. So there's also a prequel novella in the world of Bloom called Elemento, set in a very different time and tone. For readers who want to dive deeper
Mhm.
into this mythic world, how does Elemental compare to Bloom, and what would you hope readers take away from reading both?
So Elemental is basically the backstory of the original lovers, the OG lovers, Mira and Michael. So it's kind of giving a more deeper insight into how they met and they fell in love, and then how did they how were they broken apart, why were they broken apart, and then it is a tragic love story, obviously, because we all know how it ends. So but like I said, it's more of a, I was leaning more heavily into the fantasy romance, historical fantasy romance aspect of this, because this is set during the British Raj. It's like
Mhm.
1850s. So more heavily into the magic aspect of it, whereas Bloom was more into the modern romance aspect of it, the YA feel as such.
Yeah. That I remember the question I was going to ask you. So that love story, the backstory
Mhm.
that's between them, did you make that up, or was that something from a mythology?
No, that this is completely made up.
It was
So
made up. Okay.
it was just, yeah. No, but
Yeah.
I mean the background of the story, like Sikandrabad, which is like a part of Hyderabad, which is where the Maira and Michael meet. But Sikandrabad being a cantonment area during the British Raj, and that there was a governor kind of a person who was called the British resident. I don't know what's the point of calling him British resident, but uh, all those things did happen and they were true.
Yeah.
But and obviously we know that there was like a great exhibition which happened in England at that time. So taking like a little the flavor parts are real, but the legend and the myth itself is not real.
You
So
made that.
yakshas are a creature in Indian mythology, but I
Yeah.
have never met one in real life. So
That was a question on my mind. Like, have you ever met one? I was like,
no.
yes, she did. She couldn't tell me. But, um,
So yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's cool. And I'll have to I have a girlfriend from college. We graduated with our masters in writing. And I was just
Hmm.
talking to her, and she writes fantasy romance. She's been writing fantasy romance, romantasy before there was the genre
Oh,
for
okay.
it. And
Okay. One of the OTs.
yeah, oh geez, yep. And she's been publishing since 2015, I think. So
Hmm.
2016. I don't remember which year, but so she was just saying how she has new idea for a new series, but the prequel, which she's gonna give away, is gonna be a tragic love story. And I'm like, can you do that though for a romance series to have a tragic love story as a prequel? So I'm gonna have to tell her about yours so that she knows about
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but I have recently written a different story because, like you said, I also thought the same thing. I said, "This is a love story, and I'm giving away a reader magnet, which is like the prequel is going to be tragic, like you said." So
Hmm.
then I thought, okay, let's do another prequel. So I made one which is like with the four boys, Vikram and his best friends. They meet for the first time, how they meet, and then like kind of a school found family kind of a story to
Hmm.
give like just the pre quel actual prequel part of the book. So because this the series is going to be about the four friends who are like the supernaturals, and then the people they meet and then they fall in love with.
Did,
So I said, okay, let's have a prequel where the four boys meet in school, school shenanigans.
yeah.
So
Well, I would love to hear like how did his parents meet? Because one thing that I was thinking about was like, okay, there's so few of them, so few of the people who have these powers. How
mhm.
do they have like their own dating app that they go find meeting people? Like how do they meet and fall in love with other people like them?
So, I'm sure you know that there are India is the land of arranged marriages.
Yeah.
So before there were all these apps. I mean, right now, for example, when I was getting married, there were all these apps where people find each other, or like computer websites where people find each other based on the similarities in culture and whatnot. So, but before that, like for example, when my mom was getting married, it was just people knowing other people. So like it's like people within your community, they'll like when you're like going around getting vegetables or whatever, going to the
Mhm.
markets, and then people will say, "Oh, hey, your daughter is about to get married, right? Isn't she like in her 20s?" And then say, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm looking for a guy. Do you know if there's like a suitable boy who
Mm.
anybody is looking to get married?" And then they'll tell their friends, and they'll tell their friends, and then they'll tell their friends, and then slowly it like comes back to them that hey, there's a guy here or there's a guy here, and then let's get the kids to meet. And so it goes like through community. So that's how
Yeah.
they found each other, and this is how I thought that they would find each other as well, obviously within the community of their supernatural people. But obviously the young people in the second generation are doing things their own way. So
Right. But I would love to see that story because that would be a love story if you did that as like a prequel novella. Now you have a love
yeah.
story that is, and then well you could even not do it as a prequel novella. It could just be a reader magnet for book one, and then you said it's one of the
Mhm.
other boys for book two, so they could be like his parents and how they met, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, just different ideas. But and that would be interesting. Like even using the community like that, it would be a different community because you
Mhm.
couldn't just say tell just anybody, hey, my daughter's looking to get
Yeah.
married. If you're wanting to keep the magical line, I guess I'm assuming that the
Mhm.
magic flows through the bloodline, so they're trying to keep it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. Um, all right. Do you have a favorite fantasy romance author or story that really shaped how you think about blending fantasy and romance?
Oh, that is a good question. A favorite fantasy romance author. Um, mm, oh gosh, I'm like lost now because I read like a lot of different genres, so it's not I don't just like stick only to fantasy romance because when I was growing up, I read a lot of Terry Pratchett. I loved his books,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
I do still
I
love
like
his
Terry
books.
Pratchett.
But they're not like fantasy romance, like obviously, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So that's it. When you say favorite author, he's the one that first comes to mind. But I do love like most fantasy romance, and I try to read a lot of indie books as well. So and I read like all kinds of spice. I don't have any. It's just that when I'm writing it, I kind of feel like I'm not able to do it like the way that I would want it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like no, I'm gonna stick to clean. And especially after I wrote my first book, I started getting people I knew in real life. So who would say that, oh, my kid wanted to read your book. So then I was like, oh my God, thank God I started writing clean. So now I can never switch back.
Yeah.
Especially because the other books that I have, my second series, Legend Valley Academy, that's like a completed trilogy. And that's more heavily into like mystery in a magic academy.
Mm.
So a lot of people give it to their kids, or my cousins would read it, my younger cousins. So that's why I'm more into like the clean aspect of it, but I read like everything. So
Yeah.
I love all the normal I mean, like I said, all the indie authors. I like reading them and finding them. So when you say suddenly, I'm like lost. Of Carissa Broadbent, for example,
Yes. Love
of her
Crystal.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and
actually
and
read all her books before she hit it big. Well, all the ones she had before she published last year. Yeah, she was one of my favorite authors I had when I was switching over from fantasy to fantasy romance, and I was collecting
yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
books. Yeah. So, and then she got picked up, and then you couldn't buy her paperbacks for a little while because they were
I
redoing
know,
covers.
I know.
But
Yeah, but yeah. So that shows that we have good taste, right? Because
yeah, yeah. I'm the same. I like to read all over, all kinds of different. Yes, Kushiel's art. That is Jacqueline Carey. So
oh yeah,
love,
yeah.
yeah, like Jacqueline Carey. I read her a long time ago. Kushiel's art was a really good series. That whole series. Um, but and then I know, is this someone that you know? Because it's someone new for my channel. I don't
Oh
know if
no,
this
I,
is,
I don't know this
you
person.
didn't know.
Sorry,
Okay,
no.
so well, hello and
It's
welcome to the
someone new to
channel.
both of us.
Yeah. So,
Hello.
hello, nice to see you. Um, yeah, yeah. There's a lot. I had something else I was gonna say. I'm trying to remember it, but I don't remember it. But so let's go on. So, what was your favorite fantasy or romance trope and why?
Oh, then I guess I'll have to say, the fated love
Yeah,
thing. Like I said, I mean, it ties into reincarnation, fated mates, fated love. That I find really interesting. Like I said, because of all these questions which come up. That like I mean, okay, we always in romance novels talk about the good kind of fated love where they were perfect for each other, and then maybe it was circumstances around them that made it like a little difficult for them to find each other and then hook up again in this life. But it always strikes me that especially in fated love, what if one of them was a terrible partner? I mean,
mm,
like infidelity, or abusive, or even just like oh, I just hate the way he's like so slobby, and then he's a slob, and then he's dirty, or whatever, or she like picks her nose or something like that, and then you don't like it, but fate is forcing you to get together with them. It does that. I mean, how terrible would that be?
yeah,
So I always kind of like write stories which are like going against fate, or choosing um, your fate instead of just falling into it, and going along with what a higher power says for no reason other than it's supposed to be this way. I
yeah,
said, let the characters have agency, let them choose what they want to do. So even if it's a reincarnation, or if it's fated mates or whatever, they need to choose to fall for them again, is what I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
So
I
that's
love
that's
that.
my favorite trope. I love like the way people play around with it, or sometimes they play it straight, and that's also great. So different variations and flavors of that. I love that.
I have a few different like bond types that are in my world. I have a
Mm,
secondary Earth trope for my world. So, and some of them you create the bond, some of them are fated bonds. But I
mm-hmm,
also made one that's called the half soul bond, which is
mm-hmm.
a soul that decides, that can't decide what it wants to do in its next life. So it splits and it goes into two different people. But if they come
Oh,
across each other, then they have a hard time separating again.
Mm.
I was like, yeah,
No,
I like
that's a great idea.
it. And mine is similar. It would be forced proximity. Oh, forced proximity does. I mean, you get so much good tension when you have that. So I love
Yeah,
that.
it's a lovely trope. Yeah, yeah. Great
Yeah,
trope.
yeah. Mine has to be enemies to lovers, but I do like all the tropes. I like all of them. There's many. I don't know if there's any that I don't. I mean, I'm not really into like secret pregnancy. I suppose that could be good
Oh, yeah.
tension, but that's probably would be my least favorite. Like if I saw like if I had a choice of different tropes and which books to read, that would be the last one I would choose. So you need
Yeah.
to talk like that with the half bond or the
Yeah,
half.
yeah, yeah, you're half bond. Yeah, yeah, the half soul bond. That's like a great idea.
Yeah, I like it. And I do have a story. It's an online story with I did it as part of my Kickstarter where the people who bought it also got letters in the mail, and so they got part of the story in the mail, and then some of it was online. And they get to choose one of four characters to play or to follow through the story.
Mhm.
And then of course all romance, but there's also mystery. And one of them was a fated bond, and I did have it where like okay, so it was two fae, and I have 8 elements. So there's eight different fae. So there's a metal fae, but she's half human and half metal fae, and he's full metal fae, and he's expected to marry a full metal fae person, but they have a
Mm.
bond. And he was like, "Well, I'll set you up in a nice house." And she's like, I'm basically not going to be the on the side person.
Yeah, exactly. Your dirty little secret. No way.
Yeah, so and so she's like, "No, I'm not having this." And she was gonna leave until he was like, "Fine, I'll fight my family because I don't want to lose you." But he was feeling the pressure from his family that he has to marry. So
Mhm.
so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Family
yes.
pressure is difficult. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Especially in India, that is a thing to think about. Where it's like the expectations of the family, the community, the people around you, and then you either fight or you go along with it. Like in arranged marriages, uh, the tropes which we see in the books, right? It's always the expectations of the family, and then they say, no, you have to marry this guy, and then they like go through it or they fight against it or whatever it is.
They should come up with an app for families to do arranged marriages. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I have a daughter, or I have a son. You said it's a community thing, but communities
Yeah,
need.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I know, I know. Yeah, that's why they do say this in India, actually, that you don't get married to the person, you are also marrying their family.
Yeah.
So you do need to like, see the people in the family and not just the person that you like love or you want to get married to, is what we say here. So yeah.
All righty. Well, we have finished with all the author questions. We're going to move into the fun and games. And it's author's choice. And Sue picked Fantasy Romance Pictionary. Can you solve the drawings faster than we can? Tell us in the chat. So we'll check in. The chat moves a little bit slower because I think that between us streaming and hitting YouTube, there's a lag in there. So we will do the best we can.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
we both, sorry, and we both have our pad of paper and whatnot. We're trying to do fantasy romance ideas, but no words, no numbers. I think you kind of get the idea what Pictionary is. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've done this. I did this. I did Charm Chats 2 years ago. It was lots of fun, and we did Pictionary I think twice during the month. It was lots of fun. So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
Okay, so I'll just okay now. Why don't you start? So then I'll
Okay.
I'll also.
Okay. See if I can do this. Okay, first one.
Mhm. Is
Am I showing it up there?
that star?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, now I can see a star. And oh my God, what is that? It looks. I want to say mushroom or like a finger. Is that a finger? I'm a little confused. Uh, oh, cross. Okay, a star. Is Christmas? No. Is it
Nope.
supposed to be Christmas star? Cross, star, cross. Oh, star-crossed lovers. Is it
Yes.
star-crossed lovers? Oh,
Yes.
wow.
I
You
forgot to
are
start
good
the
at
timer.
this.
But yes, you got it with star-crossed lovers.
I was going to go for the Christmas tangent, and it took me a while to figure out that was a cross.
Across, yeah. I was like, oh, how else could I draw this? I don't know. Because I did draw it really lumpy. So it was wasn't like it was the best. All right. Let me get the time. I'm so sorry. I forgot to start the timer, but I think you got it in less
Oh,
than
no
2
problem.
minutes. So,
Oh, wow. Okay, good.
all right. You ready to
So you
go?
do it really well. Oh,
Oh, I
okay.
tried.
I'll just. Okay, I'll show you mine. Okay, let me. Okay, wait. Okay. Um. Oh my gosh. How am I gonna draw this?
Ladder.
This is
Or
where
if
you
it,
realize your drawing skills are bad.
oh, I can't see the bottom of it because your name is like in the way.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Is this better?
Can you
Okay.
just lift it a little bit higher? Is it
Yeah.
castle? Tower?
Yes.
Um,
Yes. And okay, this is really bad. Um,
can you
uh,
tilt it toward the screen a little bit? The light is like washing it out.
oh, okay. Wait, 1 second. I'll turn off the light. That
Oh,
will-
okay. Oh, I think yeah, it was a light from the window, I think. But that I think
Oh,
that'll help.
okay. Let's see if this
Okay.
will. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, this
flower.
is
So
thing.
tower, flower. Oh, I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Wait. Yes.
There you go.
Although the window is like really.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Flower,
Uh,
sun,
oh my gosh. This is terrible.
moon, moonflower, baby, carriage, tower. I don't know.
Oh gosh. Um.
It looks like a rose. Tower
Yes.
rose.
Oh my god. How do I do this? Okay. So this is. Okay. Now how do
Garden.
I do?
Is it garden? Yes.
No. Okay. So this. Okay. Wait. Wait. This.
Oh,
Oh wait. Okay.
okay.
This is
Oh,
better. I
okay.
think. Yeah. Okay. So it was
Okay.
this. Um. Okay. Now how do? There's a second word which I'm like not sure. Um. Okay. So you got the first one and you got the third one.
Tower
And
rose.
and,
Did I have
and okay.
leaf? No. It's a really pretty flower.
Oh my gosh.
Garden. Is it garden?
No.
Oh,
It's
roses.
this is correct. Yes. Yes. Okay, so this is correct. This is correct.
So tower
It's only
roses.
mm, how do we do the second one? I am really lost
Castle.
now. No. This is correct.
Okay, so tower's right. Okay. Tower
Tower
and then
is right.
rose and the roses.
Yes, that's right. This is oh my god. How do you do like small little words like prepositions and things like that?
I'm not sure. Of? So you're saying okay. So it's like of tower of roses.
Yes, 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 that's the
Oh,
one. Tower of Roses.
okay, cool. Yay.
You got it. After my terrible drawing skills, you did get it.
No, it's okay. I mean, I don't know how you were supposed to do prepositions. That's an interesting question. I don't know. Okay. All right. Next one for me.
Mhm.
Let's see. Hopefully I can do this one right. Okay.
It's a heart.
Okay. But it means for something else.
Oh, love. Is it love?
Mm-hmm.
Love box. Letter. Love letter.
Yep.
Oh,
Got
wow.
it.
Okay. So either you're really good at this or I'm really good at guessing.
Now it's just what we chose, I think. Because a preposition, how would you do a preposition? Oh no, you do a preposition.
Yeah, I realized I am gonna choose something else a little easier for now. So okay, let's do another one. Okay, something a little easier. for both of us. Okay. Um, this is done, right? Okay.
Okay.
Now, okay. Wait. Let me just do this.
Well, I should use a marker.
Might
That
make it.
make it easier for me to do it for next time too. Okay, I'm going. Ready?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Stairs, mountains, island, path, maze,
Um. Okay. What did we say for something like that?
path or maze. So the path, walking,
Um.
puzzle,
Oh my gosh. How am I gonna draw this now?
the a cat, ghost, a monster, centaur,
Oh no.
deer,
This is terrible.
dog,
Oh my gosh.
werewolf.
Oh my god. This is terrible.
Center the maze, werewolf, minotaur, minotaur, minotaur maze.
So then this would be
Where the minotaur was kept.
okay.
He
Let's try something else.
Okay.
Okay. I'll try breaking the word into like bits. Okay.
Okay.
So the first part of the word is mm,
I'm not able to see it because I think the window is.
okay. Oh, okay. The window is like really
Yeah, it's really
becoming
bright.
difficult for us. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yep. There's like a table with lanterns. Stoplight? No.
This is terrible. Okay, what do I? Oh, okay. Oh my gosh.
Is it
Oh
is it a bull? Bull rider? No.
no. No, I realize this is really bad. Okay, how? Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh wait.
Okay, I got a person.
Yes.
And the
And
person is wearing a shirt. Maybe a male.
okay. Um.
A man. Hunter.
Okay.
Shooting the
Okay.
bull.
Okay. It's
Running
no.
from.
This is terrible. Okay. Let me try and figure out something else. Uh, okay. Forget this. Forget this.
Okay.
We will.
Do you want to just tell me and you want to do a different one? But,
Yeah, I think maybe that might be easier. It was
okay.
supposed to be labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
I was,
Oh, I can't remember the
I was
name.
trying to draw. No, I was trying to draw a lab.
Oh,
These were like
lab.
the
Oh,
beakers,
like the test tubes
the
and
test
stuff.
tubes. Yeah.
Yes, I can see that now.
And then
Now I know.
and then I
Sorry.
said, okay, so this is the guy wearing a white lab coat, is what I wanted to draw. The hunter. And this was his stethoscope, which was
Oh, I
terrible.
was like, I don't know what that is. Oh, it's like a person with one leg.
I know. It was terrible.
Oh no, it was good. Labyrinth. Oh, okay. I can see that. I just did not remember that. Yeah, the Minotaur was kept in the labyrinth. I kept thinking maze, but labyrinth is another word for it.
You were right. Yeah.
It's almost there.
My dog looking minotaur aside.
All right, let's see. Okay. I'm gonna try one. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Okay. Oh yeah, I did get a marker this time. Let's see if okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh, quiet. Silence. Secret. That looks like an avocado. Oh, baby. Secret baby. Is it secret
Yay!
baby?
I
Okay.
was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Yep, that looks like an avocado. It sure does. Secret avocado. Shh! Don't tell no one. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Let me try and find something a little more suited to my drawing skills. Oh gosh. Okay. I'll try this one now. Okay. Uh, let's. Okay, forget about the weird lab. Okay.
The bull riding scientist.
Yeah, the bull riding hunter scientist. Okay.
Got a person.
Yeah. Okay. Why
Got a
do I
princess.
keep choosing things that people wear?
Like a princess, queen, a female, a coat, a cloak.
You got it. Okay, this
Yay!
was more my this was more my suited to my skill level.
Oh, jeez. All righty. Well, we have come to time for the writing sprint. If you're ready for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Um, all right. So, for anyone who's in the chat, you can do the writing prompt with us, or you can do whatever it is that you need to work on. And the writing prompt is a spell meant to erase a forbidden love, instead, traps both lovers in a shared dream they cannot wake from. Man, I did a lot of brainstorming for this. I was so excited to write this. So, and of course, you don't have to work on it if you don't want to. If you get other things you need to work on, you can work on that. And it
Mm-hmm.
will be going for a half hour. So let me add to the stage our timer. So for 30 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
we can work on what we need to work on. I'm going to try and write this story. I've been brainstorming quite a bit. So
Okay, cool.
I'm going to get started in 3, 2, 1, and good luck, everyone.
Bye bye.
And that is time. How did you do?
Right. I want to ask you, what did you write about, if it's okay to ask? You
Yeah.
said you had like you were brainstorming.
Yeah. So let me write down my number here. I keep track of everything. I gamify
Okay.
myself.
That's a good way to get it get it done, yeah.
Yeah. So I mentioned I have the 8 elemental fae, and one of them are the moon
Mm-hmm.
fae. And
Mm-hmm.
the moon fae can do what I call moon walking. So that in their
Mm-hmm.
dreams, they can create a space, a realm in which they can pull other people into it to have like conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not actually like
Mm-hmm.
true sleep. It's almost like astral projection in a way. So
Mm.
like people who are pulled into moonwalking, like they don't get true sleep. Like they wake up feeling tired still. They haven't slept.
Oh.
And so I thought, oh, this would be really cool. So um I kind of wrote a summary of the story, but it's a little too long to read it. But basically, so in my Moonfae households, they're kind of set up a little bit like on Asian cultures, except that the
Mm-hmm.
all of my elements fall into seasons. And so you have fall,
Mm-hmm.
summer, winter, spring. Summer and
Mm-hmm.
winter each, and there's 2 elements per season and 1 god for each element. And winter and summer, so summer has 2 male gods and winter's 2 female goddesses. The other 2 seasons are balanced, so they don't have any issues when it
Okay.
comes to like their fae. But the fae
Mm-hmm.
of the summer and winter are it's a gender inequality. So moon fae, which is a winter element, it's gender inequality in which females matriarchs run everything, and they can
Mm-hmm.
have multiple consorts. They run their own households. There's a matriarch of every clan, that kind of thing. So, way I see it is the daughter of one household is kind of falling in love with a son from another household, but his mother has already got a marriage contract for him. But they meet each
Oh.
other in their dreams. They moonwalk together to meet
Mhm.
each other because the moon fae also work on a culture of silence. So they do hand signals
Oh.
to talk most of the time.
Okay.
And they only operate at night because the sun is like, they're moon fae. The sun, can
Mm-hmm.
increase their powers. So everything's really silent. So they get to talk in their dreams together. And so my story is that he's telling her, I have a marriage contract, and but the thing is, because they've already been moonwalking, they have an emotional bond through the moonwalking, and they realize
Mm-hmm.
that he will have like he may not be loyal to the new household that he's going to because he has this
Oh.
tether. So the mothers, they decide to do a spell to try to break that tether. But then
Mm-hmm.
they both retreat into their realm that they've created together as the spell's happening, and they get stuck there. And then they decide to stay there in like their sanctuary together.
That's nice.
So yeah, that's my story. I wrote the first chapter, most of it. I don't have it done yet, but
Okay. That's great. That's a good idea.
yeah. What about you?
So I was doing I didn't do this like a whole book or a whole story. This is going to be just like one scene in the book. So Bloom is book one. There's book two, which is Flare, which is about another boy who's a rakshasa, which is like a demon kind of a creature. And book three, which is going to come out end of this year, is going to be Flow, which is about Naisha and then her.
Cool.
So Arjun, who is Vikram's
The
best
best
friend,
friend.
has
Yeah,
a
the best
crush
friend.
on Naisha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is supposed to be where she's kind of realizing that she also has a crush on him, but they each think that it's only me. So she says that, my God, this is really inconvenient in my life, and I want to get rid of my crush. And then she does the spell, but they get trapped in the dream together. it's,
Oh,
it's
that's so
kind of
cool.
like one scene or one part of a chapter, which is what I started writing. But like you said, there's a lot more which needs to go into it.
Yeah.
So this was a great idea. It really got my creative juices flowing. So it was
That's
nice. It
so
was fun.
cool. Yeah. There was she's coming on later this month, Elaine Canyon. I had her on a couple years ago. She also writes clean romance, but it's fantasy romance, but she writes It's more like it's like action adventure, but comedic. Like she's really good at writing the comedy, and so it's really really interesting stories. That she said that one of her stories that she's got out came from a prompt that we did during this month 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's so
That's
cool.
great.
Yeah. So I'm kind of planning because this is like the first writing prompt we've had this month that actually fits well with my world, because a lot of the other writing prompts had the word witch in it, and I don't have witches in my world. So I was like, I could
Yeah.
change it to fae, but I was like, but this one I think I can write this as like a short story just to be like a reader magnet. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yay. All righty. So before we wrap up the show and everything, can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on next and when it might come out? Is that one right there, right, that you were just talking about? It's the third book?
Yeah. Talking about Flow. Yeah, that's book 3 in the series, and I'm planning to release it in fall of this year.
Okay.
So, like I said, so it's basically going to be the story of Naisha and Arjun. So it's Arjun is the best friend of her brother, and Naisha is an influencer or an Instagram model, and she's very into appearances and looking perfect all the time. Everything has to appear perfect. But Arjun is not that way at all. He's like more chaos personified. So it's how what happens when they fall for each other, and then he's always had a crush on her, but he kind of felt that he couldn't really take that step until this book. So that's what this book is going to be about.
Well, she's only 16 too, right, in Bloom. So that gives her a couple
Yeah,
years to reach what a lot
yeah.
of the
So
readers would be looking for.
yeah.
So,
So she's supposed to be older here.
yeah.
So and then so all those kinds of things play into it, that I'm older than her, and it's 2 years, but still how it's how people feel when your insecurity is also one of the things
True.
which I'm talking about in this book, because like I said, she's obsessed with appearances and appearing perfect and hiding the insecurities that could be behind that kind of thought. So that's how I'm excited to like get really into it. So yep.
Yeah.
Look out for the book in the fall of 2026.
Yeah. Well, and can you tell everyone where they can find you and your books?
Okay, so I have an Instagram for all the visual aspect of the thing, the fan art and stuff like that. And I have a website, so you can find me on my website. My books are on Amazon, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on Charm Chats. And I think I've learned a lesson. I think Sunday is not a good day to do these because it's so quiet today. But
Yeah,
we did
okay.
have
I
one
had a
thing.
lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we did. We had great fun. And so, yeah, I definitely would love to have you back maybe next year. I've been thinking about possibly doing this every year. I don't know because I did it 2 years
That's a
ago.
great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
enjoyed
it's a
your
lot of
story.
fun. I would love, yeah, I would love to have another chat with you
Yeah,
whenever.
awesome. Okay, so next on Charm Chats and Happily Ever After Sprints, I'll have guest author Lucille J. Knight. She will join us on Tuesday, February 17th at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that will do it. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
I wanna tell you something. Don't be scared. It's midnight, baby, just us two, no bright lights, nothing to prove. Your handshake, mine do too, but it feels right being close to you. Come closer, don't look away. We both know why you came to stay. Your heart beats loud, I hear it too. This moment's a little taboo. Don't rush it, move slow, feel the heat start to grow. If you want me, let it show. Tell me soft, tell me low. Taboo, taboo.